Good morning, my name's Helen and this is my channel, Helen Mary Jo. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're returning, thank you. And if you're a Hellsbell, hello. Today, I'm really rushing. I'm sorry, you'll probably kind of guess that I'm rushing. I've got so much to do and I've got to get over to our son and daughter-in-law's house this afternoon to babysit for them, and on the way there I've got to complete my sister-in-law's tax return for her, so it's a busy day. But I thought if I don't get this video out fairly quickly, there will be no point doing it at all. So I am just going to do, well, 3 things today. So first of all, I am going to show you my decorations. I know a lot of people have commented, I think this is the most you've seen of it, and this bauble that is still in place after me headbutting it about 8,000 times. But it's very light, so I don't think it's done any damage. And so I'm going to show you the decorations. A lot of them are the same as last year or similar. And then I am going to, I've done 2 videos which are showing you how to make the swag that I've done on the front door, and a second video that I made of me making the arrangement in the front room. And then at the end, I'm not daft, I will be announcing the competition winners, both competition winners. So that is the cashmere scarf from Black that I have given as a prize, and the second one is one of my mugs. You can comment on this video if you want me to sell those mugs. I can add them to my, I've got my bag that I've got, which I more or less sell at cost price. I don't make any money on those because I just think it's lovely that people want one of my bags, and I can do the same with the mugs if you'd like me to put them on the site. They are ready to go. I just wasn't as happy with them as I wanted to be, and I haven't had a chance to get a mug sorted that I would really like to have on the site. So that's those 2 things. What else was I going to say? Oh, in my links on my description box, I have got a link to Cameo, and I had my first 2 requests for that, and that's for a personal greeting. You have to pay for it, but I was just chuffed to pieces that anyone wanted that, to be honest. So did a couple of happy Christmases, and I won't obviously mention any names because it may well be a surprise for Christmas. But yeah, honestly, I'll be opening supermarkets next. Anyhow, as you can see, I've had my hair cut, quite a lot cut off, but it's so much easier to manage. Honestly, I dread washing my hair usually, and with this, it just makes it a lot easier for me. So yeah, I'll show you this one first. I will have to turn the camera off and turn it around and stuff, and then I will do you a quick little tour of the others, and then, as I say, the rest of the video will be how to make the swag and the mantle arrangement, and announcing the winners of the competition. Now, this one is the one that you've kind of been seeing in the videos recently when I've been doing a haul in the hall, and it's kind of a viral trend that I saw on Instagram or somewhere, and basically it's an extending curtain pole that I've just put in this archway, and the beauty of it is you can make it sort of down low, and then with Rob's help obviously take it up to the top of the archway, and I rather like it actually. And it was relatively easy to do. I had the garland of greenery already, so I just wove through some of the kind of gold mesh ribbon that I got from Costco, added a few trinkets, baubles. I think most of the baubles were from Costco as well, actually, because they're nice and big. And yeah, and that was how I made that one. It kind of creates a nice focus for the back room. The second one is above the light fitting over the kitchen island, and I made this using a length of lagging, pipe lagging, or like a pool noodle would do it as well. And, you know, again, without Rob, I probably couldn't have done it because he just wired it to the light fitting. And then I actually got it all together on the table, tied all the baubles on and wired on the greenery. And if I put the lights on, I think it flickers. Yeah, so it sort of flickers. But obviously it looks nicer with the lights on. But you can see it's not that difficult really. You just probably need a second pair of hands to get it fixed to the lights. But yeah, I got a bit mad this year really, in so many ways. Here's the Christmas tree in all its glory. Got the tree in Costco actually. And then this year Rob has made me this fabulous wooden skirt for the tree. I mean, he is a carpenter by trade, so he did a lovely job on that. And I have actually got a decal to put on there with our family name on it. And yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think the tree looks lovely this year. So that's the tree. We've got our usual ones for the children, really. See the Elvis one on the left? That is actually a rare item now, and I looked, because it's a little bit broken, I looked to buy a new one. It was $48. We've got the 3 Christmas stockings there, which I do need to add to, because I've got 4 grandchildren now. Then there's my cushion that kind of sums me up really. Got my tree in the hall, which has got all of, it's my mum, myself and Rob, and then all of the children and grandchildren's names on these little hearts. And they're kind of done in age order. So I just got a white pen and wrote their names on. And yeah, I've had that for years and years now actually. From when I was living in the cabin, when we were doing all the work on the house, and I couldn't put a proper tree up. And then just the usual, like any of its usual, the Santa and the reindeer. Yeah, so I like that. I think it makes a nice entrance way. Then there is my magnificent reindeer on the hall table, which I absolutely love, that I got in Costco a couple of years ago, with the 3 crowns, because he's the king of the forest. And yeah, I love that reindeer, honestly. It wasn't even that expensive, but I think it's so effective. And I've told you before that these are, they were from a curtain, I think, and my sister-in-law took them off for me. She knew I'd find a use for them, nutcase as I am. So that's the hall. This is on the cupboard as you come into the hall. So this is kind of a Neptune-y themed Santa with the shells and so on and so forth. Got that conch shell in, where was it? St. Martin, I think. That was rather nice. And he just took my fancy. You know, sometimes you just see things and you just think, I've got to have it. And this is the back of the door. And I think I've already got a photograph of the front of the door. So I'll just show you. It's been so windy that the ribbons keep setting the Ring doorbell off. It's lasting well. The beauty of it being outdoors is it lasts really, really well. So I'm happy with that. All good. So I'm having to bend over like this so that you can see what I'm doing when I stand up straight. Rob has got his phone, which I need for the second camera. So I'm going to just do it like this for now. And if he comes back in, I might change it up or whatever. So this is, I'm making a door swag. Now I've done a swag rather than a wreath for the last couple of years, and I rather like it. It's a little bit different. And it lasts really, really well. So I do it in one of these, which is a block of floral foam in a container. I'll link them on Amazon in the description box. But this just does honestly make your life a whole lot easier having this like this. And what I'm primarily going to use is spruce, which we just bought a cheap tree from Lidl. I think it was £15. It was the easiest way for me to get some spruce because our tree didn't actually need much cutting off it. So Rob's just got me some bay from the garden as well. I'm not sure that I'll use this in this one. I will probably use primarily just the spruce in this one. And I'm going to use this beautiful ribbon. I'm going a bit more blingy this year. Last year and the year before I did very kind of new forest with like muted colours and that, but I'm using these bells this year. And these bells are quite bling-tastic on their own right. So, but they'll kind of go in at the end. So basically, with this, I'm going to build it up from the longest part and then build it up to the top. So it should hopefully be a teardrop shape. And the main thing to remember when you're doing this is to, I need a box or something to put these trimmings in. One thing you're not short of at this time of year is boxes. So, like, I'm picking that one up, and that's not suitable because that's all too kind of, that I'll use these, but not right now. So I really want a kind of long piece. No, oh yeah, that's okay. So what I'm going to do with this is cut that one off. I've shown you these scissors before, they're as sharp as anything. Let's take this off now, put it on to go out in the garden. Now I'm boiling, let's all go. And then what you need to do is to trim this down as much as possible because you don't want to push a hole into the foam with anything other than what's needed. Because if I push that in with all the leaves on, it would just create a much bigger hole. So I'm going to put that low. And that basically is the first layer. And then you just build up from there. And it really isn't difficult. Once you kind of got the shape in mind, it's quite straightforward. So I'm just going to use some of these little pieces to kind of make it wider on the bottom. And as I say, make sure that you trim anything off and try and cut that at a nice sharp angle. Oh, it smells gorgeous. So very, very simple. If you imagine that you're forming a teardrop, that's what you need to keep in mind. And you know, you might not get it right first time, but it'll be your own creation, and that gives you a sense of satisfaction all of its own, really. So keeping in mind the shape, I don't want it to go, no, I'm not going to use that one just there because I think I will lose the shape too readily. And you can use any of these little pieces, nothing really goes to waste in this situation. And you just keep building it up. Kind of creating the shape. I mean, I'm only showing you that, obviously it looks nothing at the moment, but just so that you can kind of get an idea of where we're heading. And I'm just clipping even these tiny little fronds off because they all help to fill it. And I found that this actual swag last year was still fresh when I took it down. on the 12th night. It's surprising with the being in the chill and you know, not being exposed to the central heating. It really does make a difference compared to the one over the fire. I mean, the fire's not on, but nonetheless, it's you know, in a heated room, it makes a big difference. I like a swag as well because not many people have them. Most people do have wreaths. I know that, you know, there's symbolism in the wreath, but I've got enough wreaths around. It's not like I'm short of wreaths. And then I'm just going to take it a little bit deeper there, you can see. I mean, at the end of the day, the star of the show is going to be the ribbon and the gold balls. So this is almost just kind of background for those elements. And then just start taking it up the floral foam. I mean, what's marvellous now is that you can get any of these things online. You know, it used to be, I'd look at things and I think, oh, I'd love to do that. But you had no way of accessing the materials that you needed. And now, with the invention of the World Wide Web, there's nothing stopping you. I don't know if that's always a good thing because, you know, you can see something on YouTube or Instagram and the next minute you've ordered it and you've got it the next day. I think Rob would argue that it's not ideal, but there we are. So it's just building up. Almost doesn't really look anything until you do put the flourishes onto it. And the other thing to remember is to keep it all going kind of in the same direction. Now really it's a case of just filling it up. You know, it's not rocket science. But there is something rather nice about making it yourself, you know, rather than just buying one. So one like this, I'm just going to trim all of those pieces off and use them individually. And the other thing to remember is the sides you can't see. I mean, I'm lucky in a way I can see it on the camera, but I will turn it round and look at it. So it needs to be kind of even. There's not so many places selling real trees this year, I noticed. You know, IKEA normally do an offer, and I have before now got my kind of tree for foliage from IKEA because it was almost free because you bought it, and then I think you got all bar, if it was £25 for the tree, you got a £20 IKEA voucher, which was useful. I'll lose my wires. I've got some wires here to attach the ribbon and the bow. Oh, that's a lovely piece. It's like a star, isn't it? I think I'm going to keep that for the fireplace. I got my nails done this morning. I love this colour at Christmas, and well, all through the winter actually. And the poor girls in the salon, one of them had her car washed at the car wash yesterday, you know, the manual car wash, and they'd lost her car key. And on the car key was her house key. So I had a terrible time of it. And they didn't get home till about, I don't know, 9 o'clock last night or something. I mean, how does a car wash lose your car key? I don't know. Nightmare. And you know, when you're so busy and you've been working hard all day, that's the last thing you need, isn't it? So just making it really nice and pushy. Now, very soon, I'm going to see how I get on adding the bow, because that will be at the top and then the bells will hang down. So I'm going to take this. No, I'm not going to take that ribbon. Now, these bells are so old. Basically, what I want to do is have these hanging into the foliage like that. So they need to be fastened into the top. So I'm just going to cut that ribbon off. They're going to make a hell of a noise every time the front door gets opened. That's kind of the idea. And what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? Because I need that to be, yes, all I'm going to do actually is, I've got a florist wire here, which again you can buy online, or if you've got a local florist, I'm sure they will sell them to you very reasonably, because they only cost pennies for them, and you know, it's goodwill from you. So feeding that right through there, and then in a way I need to be working on this kind of like that. So that's full of water, that's handy. Get that into the sink. I need this to be kind of propped up. And then I may well actually do it in situ. So, right, how long? I want the tails long. So, there's a couple of ways of doing this. I mean, I think I'll just do it so that you have, by being aware of which side the peacock, the sort of the face side, I'm just trying to think. So I'll do it in half, and then I cross it over like this. So that gives me my kind of first part of the bow, so that's very simple. And then one here, and one here. So you do have to kind of twist it. I have to be aware because I don't want it to be too much in the way of the postman. So I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to cross it over to make the first bow. And then I am going to make another loop here. I'm going to make another loop here. And then just twist that round at the back. So just play with it until you find something that looks pleasant to you, really. The beauty of this ribbon is it's wired, and so you can kind of shape it quite nicely afterwards. And then again, using a florist wire, about not exactly halfway, and then just pinch it in the middle and twist. It's a lot easier to do this before you've got everything in place, because if you wait, you can't kind of feed it in well. So I want that. I'll just feed that into the foam, and then I can kind of fluff that up and get it nice once it's on the door. So you can see it is quite a dramatic bow and arrangement, but as easy as anything really. So I'm just going to carry on filling that with these bells are at least 30 years old. At least 30 years old. So the fact that they may well get damaged by the weather, I don't care. They've certainly paid for themselves after all this time. So you know what, I am going to finish this on the door. I'm laughing because this is following on from yesterday's video that I thought I was going to get this done yesterday, but I ran out of time. You can see I've had my hair cut in the middle and I've changed my jumper, and this is now, I'm just going to start the front room arrangement, our living room arrangement. Now Rob bought me these lovely soldiers last year, and I'd admired them in the shop, and he surprised me on Christmas Day with these. So I want to feature these either side of the arrangement. Rob's dad was actually in the Grenadier Guards, so there's history to this as well. And my little grandson, both obviously my grandson's other granny lives in Windsor, and he has seen a lot of the guards marching, and he's got a little Grenadier Guards outfit, and he marches. He's amazing. He's like, does the whole tune and the attention and everything. He's only 3. So they're kind of like, they're not just cute. They kind of got some family emotion tied to them as well, which is all kind of pertinent at this time of year, isn't it? Everything gets a bit more, I don't know, kind of emotional, I suppose, really. And I think the older you get, the more that happens. Certainly for me this year, I'm feeling very emotional about it. So I think there's been so much illness amongst friends and family. It's quite terrifying, really. I don't know where the time goes. So I may have to raise these up because to get the perspective right. I think these would probably look better just slightly higher. In fact, I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to go and get a couple of, if I've got a couple of tins of tuna, that would just lift it up. And because I'm putting the foliage there, you won't see that, obviously. You're not gonna think, why has she got tins of tuna on the mantelpiece? So I'm just going to go and grab those, or something that will do the job, and then I'll raise those up, and then I'll start with the arrangement. I forgot to turn the camera on. So I've just got these little tins of tuna, and they'll be hidden by the foliage, so just enough. They're almost too small, but I think they'll be okay because I'll put the foliage to kind of almost hold them in place. And at the end of the day, nobody should be touching this fireplace, and that just elevates them slightly. So I've got an IKEA bag down on the floor here just to catch the needles and the leaves as best I can. Everywhere's going to need a jolly good hoover. So what I'm going to do with this one is just cut these long fronds off here, and I have to be ever so careful not to cut myself with these scissors. So easy to kind of snip and then snip into your finger. This has got a very big stem. See the size of that? I don't really want that going in the oasis if I can help it. So I'm going to try and kind of nibble that down a bit with the scissors. So just to kind of start getting a little bit of balance on here. So you can see how it's coming together. I'm just going to go out in the garden and pick. I've got some myrtle out there. I think I'll add some myrtle to it. I haven't got an awful lot more of the spruce left. So it's not far from being okay, because what I'll do then is I will add the kind of Christmassy bits to it. And then, much like the swag on the front door, I'll see if anything needs adding to it. So I'll just go and do that difference. And I am going to raise those candles up. So I'm going to stop it there. I'll see if Rob can find me the rest of those roses, add those in, lift the candles up, and then I'll bring you back when it's finished. And there we have it. I think that looks pretty good, if I say so myself. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. And last but not least are the two winners of the competition. There's Dolly coming back in. So the winner of the mug is Janet Clements. So if you can drop me a line, Janet, on my email address, which you will find in the information about me at the top of the my channel. But if you can't find it, then just comment on this video and I will come back to you. And the winner of the shawl is Beverly Jackson. Well done, ladies. I've got no idea where you live, so I've got no idea about if you're... Yeah, you should get this before Christmas wherever you live, really, shouldn't you? So it's the mug for Janet Clements and it's the cashmere scarf for Beverly Jackson. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.